Oleksandr Usyk, the former undisputed cruiserweight champion and heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Ukraine. Jake Paul, fighting out of Cleveland, Ohio, currently residing in Dorado, Puerto Rico.
This is going to be an intense stare-off before the fight starts.
And now for the official introductions, we turn it over to the world-renowned Jimmy Lennon Jr.
This bout is scheduled for 12 rounds of boxing. Fighting out of the red corner, here is the Olympic gold medalist from Ukraine, an undisputed cruiserweight world champion, and a unified heavyweight champion of the world, Oleksandr Usyk. Fighting out of the blue corner, from Cleveland, Ohio in the United States, here is the battle-ready cruiserweight and popular social media superstar, introducing the problem child, Jake Paul.
So much hype surrounding this big matchup. Can't wait to see what goes down when the opening bell rings.
This is the night. Everybody's looking forward to this night. The heat, the atmosphere, you could cut it with a knife.
So a capacity crowd here for this one. We've been waiting a long time for this matchup. And here we go. And there's the bell for round one. You don't want to go tit for tat in there in this fight. Good one. You can tell who's stronger and who's faster. And he scores with the counter. Nice counter shot. That counter punch caught him clean. Oh my, the Ukrainian has been rattled. They've avoided catastrophe there.
What recovery?
Whoa, did you see that? Give me just a second here, Jim. The unified heavyweight champion is down. Cue up the replay machine. I have got to see that again.
Where did that come from? What a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4. Listen to me. Are you okay?
They're back on their feet, but how long will they stay there?
Somebody can smell blood here. They can smell blood. They've got to be smart. Get in there. Then boom, back in the same spot again. It happened once. You got away with it. You can do it again.
His stamina is off the charts. It's all offense all the time. Final 10 seconds here, unless something major happens. I think we all know who won that one. Let's talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. Let's see how the game plan changes after that big knockdown.
You've been put down. You've got to think right. Survive and then give it back the next round.
Hey, I like that round. Good work.
Just to sit back and win the rounds, right? It's only one round that you've lost.
Will appear. Just get him on the end of the jab. You're getting your time.
And there's the bell for round two. Let's see how he bounces back here after getting dropped in the last round.
That knockdown we just saw was a heavy knockdown. I'd be very, very surprised if he'll come out fresh as a daisy. That's not going to happen. He's got to hustle now. He's got to bluff it.
Catch and shoot. All the talking has been done. It's time to start doing the walking.
You can walk into an arena and be the hero. The pressure, the expectation, the desire from the fans. You can't get away from it. Ignore them. Lock it up. I know it's hard. I can hardly hear you, Todd. You've got to ignore them. Get on with your job.
Both men step back for just a moment. Good counter punch. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Perfect counter shot. A perfect counter lands. You know the scorecards are going to be all over the place in this one. Talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. At this point, you got to believe he can't win on the scorecards. Going to need a knockout.
Wow, you know what? I've been in fights like that. When you're thinking, come on, bro, ring away. You walk back to the corner like you've just seen the sun.
Put him back together. Put him back on him this round.
I need middle.
And there's the bell to start round 3. So not the best round, but let's see if they can turn it around here.
That was a tough last round. Now you've got to make sure he doesn't put it on you. And that's what he's going to try and do. So tie him up, hold him, lean on him. Don't get drawn into a fight. Not yet. Not until your senses have come back.
That hook was thrown with some bad intentions. Tried to land the left hook, but it was blocked. The counterfighter, hold that thought! The defense failed them! A much better game plan here.
It's been a tough round so far. It's been a tough round. What do they do? What do they tell him when he goes back to the corner? How are they going to get through this?
Halfway through the round, and man, these two are going at it.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. Just like a match made in heaven.
They block that jab. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. Good defense stopping that jab. Nice counters. A lot of effort being exerted here. Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. Talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. I promise you, all three judges here are going to give that round to you-know-who.
As long as they don't get complacent, you think this is too easy. If they keep this same kind of pace up, they've got this fight.
All the way through camp.
You were smart, you weren't loading up, but you were still landing your pass.
And there's the bell for round 4. Well, Johnny, can he keep the momentum going after that last huge round for him?
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing because you've won that hands down.
His stamina is off the charts. Incredible work rate. That counter punch caught him clean. Just missed with that hook. very competitive round here so far.
Perfectly matched, skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I got to respect both of them more than happy.
And he scores with the counter. Missing with the hook. Just missed with that hook. Beautiful counter punch. Very close round with 10 seconds to go. Talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. Well, it's no secret who has the advantage after that last round. Let's see what they have in store for us in the next one.
I seriously hope the judges kept their eye on this fight, because if they haven't, there's going to be absolute uproar.
Relax now.
There's the bell to start round 5. Well, there's no doubt about who won that last round. Let's see what he has for us here in the next one.
Todd, my motto is, if it's not broken, why change it? An excellent last round, everything works. Wait for the reaction. Until then, keep doing what you've just been doing, because you've won that hands down.
Good counter punching. What do you think of what we've seen so far from these two boxers, Johnny?
Because you've got a good chin doesn't mean you've got leather skin. It means you can still get caught. So you've got to go for those point areas over the eyebrow, the cheekbone. He's just got to try and cut them, skin them, go for speed.
Well, they're going deep into the gas tank on this round. Punch, counter punch. Big shots from both these fighters. Got to be careful, though.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other, because no one dare do anything out of turn.
Scores with the straight left. Perfect counter shot. Good defense with that left jab. They both want the knockout. This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. We'll see how much endurance these two fighters have.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
I need to go.
Good man, good man.
Let's start the 6. They really seemed to exhaust themselves last round. Let's see what they have left.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
One of the best attributes to have in boxing has nothing to do with boxing. It's how well you can take a punch to the face.
Todd, you know what? Sometimes when I've done in the ring with fights like that, and you punch them, you just want to run. You want that spaceship to come and lift you out there, because you think, what the hell am I going to do now?
Tried to score with that hook, but missed. Halfway through the round, and I don't know who's got the advantage. Great stuff.
They're so close, so close. How can you separate them? It's going to be a hard night tonight for the judges.
think of holding on here for a minute. The only fear you have with this fighter is, has he punched himself out? Holding nothing back here in the round. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Let's talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. Stamina is always an issue in a prize fight.
There's a lot on the line here.
Keep smart.
What are you doing? You've switched off completely.
Don't worry. Those shots. Good work. Don't forget the jab and don't get carried away.
He's set. Forget about that round. It was a bad round, but we don't.
Relax now. I don't want you to load up. Don't be looking there for one shot at a time. Set him up, or you'll take him out. He's ready to go. He's absolutely shattered. He's hurt. He's ready to go.
I need you to focus on what you're doing. You don't want to lose.
Go out there and finish him. Good work out there.
Here we go. It's round 7. Let's see how much recovery they saw there in the last minute.
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
We both know who the bigger power puncher is. There's a significant power difference. How would you handle that?
You've got to be courageous when you get in there with someone that's bigger, stronger, and faster. You've just got to use brain there.
Good job defending the jab. He needs to be careful not to punch himself out. Back and forth they go. Neither fighter willing to back down.
Perfectly matched. Skill for skill, tap for tap. Now this fight will say, you know what, I'm just that notch above you, and so I've got to respect both of them more than happy.
Usyk! Didn't wait long to get back and get engaged.
Defense, defense, defense is everything because they got shot once, they know they can get caught again. So for now, just defense, work on defense, blocking and stopping and shooting.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. This round could go either way. 10 seconds to go. Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. I'm worried about these two fighters gassing out as this fight goes on.
That's when you talk about championship material.
Keep smart.
Okay, now you let him back into the fight that round. That's his round.
Beautiful, that's it. Start sticking in a few body shots in there.
Come on, get focused. Get your mind on the job. Get back out there and win the round.
Just same again. Don't change too much. Keep doing what you're doing. The gaps will appear. You were thinking, you were smart. You weren't loading up, but you were still landing your power shots. Good work.
In the first minute, stick him on the end of the jab, and then start gathering
The end of what you do. Good work. Relax now. I don't
up him in his tracks. Right, let's go out there, get your butt.
take him out.
And there's the bell for round 8. How much do they have left in the tank after that last round?
What were they doing that round? Are they trying to get an early night? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
As we burn through these rounds, this aggressive fighter continues to come forward, seemingly with endless energy, Johnny.
How do you deal with an aggressive fighter? What you do is you fight fire with fight. You either give it them back because that's where they're comfortable, or you play calm, play cool.
What heart, what desire, but at what cost? His stamina is off the charts. What a round so far as we've reached the halfway point.
Skill for skill, tap for tap. She's like a match made in heaven.
Oh, and he caught him with an uppercut. Stamina is so important for these two fighters because it allows them to use their skills throughout the match. It can all come down to who's in better shape.
Now you've got two fighters that are absolutely shattered. What gets you through? Willpower. Calm, because if you panic, you get desperate. If you get desperate, you make mistakes. If you make mistakes, you get knocked out.
Despite what the judges' scorecards read, there are no losers in this one. The big Ukrainian in big trouble. Let's talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. How much cardio was put in for this fight? It may come down to that.
You cannot gas out. If you prepared right, slept right, ate right, and did everything right for this fight, you have no excuse for gassing out.
Good and back together. Listen, be smart when you go out there.
There's the bell to start round 9. Not sure these two fighters can keep up the pace we saw last round, but you know they're going to try.
Exerted a lot of energy in the fight so far. Now they're shattered. This is what you call championship rounds. If you have done the work, slept right, ate right, prepped right, I'm expecting you to get through this. If not, if you've cheated, the ring can be the loneliest place in the world.
These punches coming from every angle. They block the jab. Blocks that left hook. Has to be careful for that receipt. It's always coming. This fighter's certainly not going to out-throw their opponent by any means, but they will, when they hit, be a lot harder.
They know the second they touch you, it's done. They're that powerful.
Is he going to punch himself out, though? Good counter-punching. He's putting the pedal to the metal, but has to be careful that he doesn't run out of gas. You can see the heavy breathing, but that's not slowing him down. A very competitive round with 10 seconds left. Talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. Now you start wondering how much work these two fighters did in the gym.
There's a lot on the line here.
Start sticking in a few body shots in there.
Listen, you switched off. What are you doing?
We've made it to round 10. Was 1 minute enough time for them to recover after what we saw last round?
An amazing pace and tempo set in the last round. Can you keep this up? Me personally, I don't think that's possible. And if they can, their training, their conditioning would have been ridiculous, like they're in the army. But these guys, if they can keep up this pace, we are in for a great night.
As we enter the final frames of this bout, Johnny, what have we seen so far?
It's the one who draws first blood, Todd. That's what you've got to look at. If you can hit, and you know you're in there with a banger, you've got to be on it, but you've got to be confident.
Did you see that? What a nightmare scenario! I thought we were going to see the finish there.
Now they've got to wake up. They've got to get on.
Whoa, Johnny, out of nowhere. Look at this. And we may see a stoppage here. It appears that the moment of trouble has passed, at least for now.
Green Days now needs to steady the pace. Get the pace back to normal.
This round's still up for grabs with just 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Oleksandr Usyk in that last round. You've heard the old phrase, this might come down to who wants it more, but it might come down to who's in better shape.
You cannot gas out if you prepare.
Focus.
There's the bell to start round 11. They let it all hang out in the last round. What do they got left?
What are they doing that round? Are they trying to get an earning out? That's a lot of energy burst. They did 6 rounds in one. They're going to be absolutely shattered.
And he wasn't ready for that counter punch. Nice looking right hook, but he blocked it. We've seen in the past from this fighter, they don't get concerned when they lose some of the earlier rounds because they know they've got that power that can strike at any moment.
I've seen certain fighters that can depend on just their power alone. Forget tactics. They know the second they touch you, it's done. That's where the confidence comes from.
Both of these fighters have had their moments.
Very close match. It shows the skill, the discipline, the respect both fighters have for each other because no one dare do anything out of turn.
And he misses with that straight left. At some point, the corner has to say you're done. Jake Paul will have to go to the canvas. And as you can see here, a picture-perfect punch did the trick.
A shot from the gods took him out.
1, 2, 3, 4. You still want to fight?
Not the best of rounds with 10 seconds to go. Let's talk about Jake Paul in that last round. So it's plan B time after being knocked down in that round.
I love the response though. Got back up, took a deep breath and thought, right.
Come on, do you want to win this?
Who thought we would have made it to 12? He couldn't finish him off in the last round. Let's see what this has in store for us.
Todd, listen to me. If I knock somebody down like that round, you know this round coming out? He's getting everything, full barrel because I know his legs are gone. So this, you watch what's going to happen. If he doesn't, I'll be very, very surprised.
They need to be careful they don't punch themselves out here. Well, just a couple rounds left, Johnny. What's your assessment so far?
That power might be the do or die. That power might be the equalizer.
Nice counter shot. This fighter expending a lot of energy in this round. They block the jabs. Starting to take some deep breaths now, but still fighting hard. There's a big difference between being the aggressor and the effective aggressor. Which type are we seeing so far?
Sometimes when you have a fight, the best way to beat a fight is not give them what they...
Hold on, gotta cut you off here, Johnny. We've never seen Oleksandr Usyk hurt like this before. And now they're right back into the fray.
Got caught sleeping on the job. What do? You step back.
You know the scorecards are gonna be all over the place in this one. What a dominant performance, and it shows up on the judges' scorecards as a unanimous decision victory.
What a whitewash. You know, that's skills, that's class, that's levels. One is up there, one is down there, but you know what? The loser is going to have to learn a big, hard lesson. I totally agree.